Why haven't we seen real-world adoption for distributed ledger technology? So last year I had the pleasure of attending Swell in Dubai. It's an event that Ripple puts on an annual basis. In 2022, they had it in London. 2023 was in Dubai. We have some projects that we're working on, building things out that would be interoperable with the network at a later date. And so we were able to attend, really blessed to be able to do so. But while we were there, a few things were discussed about really the core foundation of what needs to be in place in order to scale all the sexy financial products that everybody wants in the future on these networks. And those two main components are identity and custody. Okay, so Ripple made the acquisition of Medico in 2023, was $250 million acquisition. It's a big step forward for them in their ability to offer a full scope of services to all of their banking clients. And now we have the introduction of XLS 40D, which is an amendment on the XRPL. And this is why this is so important. The Web3 Consortium has a standard that allows basically DeFi applications to be consistent and compliant with the current regulations that exist. And the component that is required for that is KYC, AML, accreditation, all of those things. You have to have a digital ID component associated with your wallet or whatever you're utilizing to do these financial products. We're not going to get real-world adoption from institutions, enterprises, anybody else until that's in place. So guess what? That amendment is up for vote. We're at 13 yeses. We need 28 out of the 35 to reach the 80% consensus for that to then have the 2-week waiting period before it goes live. You know, I know people were upset the other day when we had to step back for the AMM. You know, there was a bug. Realistically, I don't think that that's going to be able to go live and be used at scale until we have the digital identity component in place on the XRPL. And that's going to foster a lot of adoption for this network in comparison to other ones. There's other people that have rolled out digital identity solutions on other networks that really just haven't taken off. I don't think they have the partnerships or the real buy-in of the institutions that Ripple and others that are working on the XRPL have, R3 to name one of those. And so I'll tell you something that caught my ear last year at XRP Vegas. For you that don't know Bob Way was like the 10th employee at Ripple. I hold him in a very high regard with his ability to code and understanding of financial products and systems. But he mentioned something on stage that I thought was peculiar that I had never heard before. And there's very few other people that have ever mentioned this as well. And that is that the XRPL is the best protocol or network for identity. He didn't say transfer of value, which obviously I believe it's that as well. But the identity component was something that really stuck out to me and I latched onto, and I really haven't heard a lot of other people discuss since then. But I think it's built that way for a reason. Again, this is the bedrock of what allows everything else to be scaled for financial products and instruments. And again, all the cool stuff that we want to come along for those that are early in the space. And so with this amendment up for vote, I think that, again, this is going to be a catalyst for the adoption of this network at scale by institutions, enterprises, and potentially lead to, a lot of the price appreciation and the capability for everybody that holds XRP and other issued assets on the network to be able to participate in liquidity pools, DeFi projects, other things of that nature to produce income or passive income like I've talked about in other videos like this one. I think that this is going to have a huge impact for us here in 2024 and the adoption of the tokenization for real-world assets. Again, these things have to be in place prior to that happening. So these things should transpire over the next couple months here, and we should start to see significant adoption in this year, which hopefully will lead to some more volume on the network and, again, price appreciation. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.